Hey all, this video is about marking, and essentially as a team, we want our marks to have a huge impact on the game. They're the closest person to the frisbee. They're the only one that has any impact on the comfort of the thrower, and given that every turnover starts with the thrower throwing it, they can have a huge impact on the game. So in general, the thought that we have is that marks are not really all that great at like completely stopping the disc from going to the break side. Um, if you're a good break thrower, you break marks, but what you can do is you can delay it, right? You can challenge really aggressively, make them throw a pump fake and maybe throw their second choice to the break side and let the upfield defender recover. Um, so I'm just going to show, this is a video I put together last year actually while scouting slow, and I'll just
Hi,
show that to
leadership.
start.
One thing that I think will be important if we end up playing it slow white or slow, excuse me, is our understanding upfield that the mark is not real. And by that, I mean the mark is not going to be able to take away the break side all on their own, particularly not for any significant amount of time. The mark's job is to delay throws to the break side. They're not going to be able to stop it. So this is a game from US Open. Slow is in white and Dragon is in dark. And 55, this player here gets beat twice in a row thinking that the mark is going to do their job. So this is a high stall situation, and he's basically giving them, you know, I don't know, 4 feet of separation, and it's just an easy high stall dump throw. So the mark is not going to stop that uh, pretty much against most of their throwers. Um, so on this next throw, his player cuts up line, and you can see him just kind of jogging because he's like, oh, the mark's going to stop that, and the mark doesn't stop it. So it's going to be really important for our dump defenders or our defenders in general to just recognize that the break throws are going to go up consistently. Uh, yeah, he was just like, he was in fine position, but he's just jogging right now. So that's all. Let me know if that.
So the only reason I want to show that video is just to show like several examples of throwers basically breaking the mark. They'll do it at will. We will do it at will as well. So just to show one example of an impact that a mark can have that's not necessarily just keeping the disc away from half of the field. This is from Chicago Machines highlights from 2019, and based on where everyone's standing, Reds on defense, you can assume that the force is forehand over to this side, and they have this player over here who's just completely wide open, right? He is totally, totally, totally wide open. So if you were the thrower here, you would just throw the disc somewhere in this area, and they would get the score. But you can see that this mark is you know very straight up. The pivot foot is actually over here to the right. So this player's right foot is on the left side of this pivot foot. They're just like they're being a gnat, right? They're really challenging every throw. Maybe they saw this person pump fake earlier, or excuse me, throw a big huck earlier. Maybe they could just sense that they were going to throw it, but they're being extremely aggressive. And because of their aggression, basically, um, the disc had to go over here. Like I said, the disc should have gone over here. This would have been a great huck, but because of the mark's aggression, the disc had to go over here. These are the impacts that the mark can have. I'll continue because it was a really sweet layout block. But these are the impacts in the game that we really want our marks to have. So at practice, what we want to do is basically push our limits of aggressiveness, right? Push our limits for how much we challenge inside and almost straight up early install counts. Push our limits for how aggressively we bite on things that we think are going to be throws, that type of stuff.